بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum, malolele, talofalava, ni hao, namaste, annyeonghaseyo, kia ora. Ko dolagawi, ko te garabunduol toku iwi, ko fulani toku hapu, ko mangere toku maunga, ko Purnui Reserve toku awa, ko Hajja Aista toku mama, ko Alajikaba toku papa, ko Fatumata aho. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. I would first and foremost like to thank and acknowledge Precious and your whānau for the beautiful mihi and welcoming that you gave. And also thank you, Guy, and the team at Inspiring Stories for the opportunity to be here with you all today to share my personal journey and hopes and aspirations for Aotearoa. And before I really begin, can I just say what an absolute privilege it is to be in the same room as you all. You are the current and future change makers, movers, shakers, and leaders of Aotearoa. Before I talk about how I was inspired by Festival for the Future 2016, I'll just give a brief snapshot about how I got to where I am today. Now, I was born in one of the holiest cities in the world, in Makkah, Saudi Arabia, where my father was studying. Now, once my father had completed his studies, we went back home, which is Sierra Leone, West Africa. Now, we actually didn't stay back home for very long, and in truth, I only spent about 6 months of my infancy there. And that was because tensions were brewing between the rebel army and the government. And with support from the special forces in neighboring Liberia, the rebel army attempted to overthrow the government. I was fortunate that my parents decided to act quickly. They did not wait for the government to appease the demands of the rebels. They did not wait for the calm and peace that was talked about and promised. They could not raise their daughters in a corrupt, fragile environment where the gunshots from the fighting could be heard in the backyard and the children were literally being kidnapped from the very front doorsteps of their homes. So my parents decided that the only hope for them, for peace and prosperity, was to leave their family and everything they knew behind. And so in 1996, my family were fortunate to be able to flee the Civil War and arrive in New Zealand as refugees. I needed 20 slides, so I just put that one up there. However, upon arrival, the mandatory health checks picked up that me and my elder sister have sickle cell anemia, which is basically a genetic blood condition, which means that my red blood cells don't really carry the same amount of oxygen as yours, and sometimes tends to get stuck in the veins, causing what they call sickle cell pain episodes or crisis. And so it's safe to say and conclude that sickle cell has, given me my fair share of obstacles in life. However, if somebody asked me if I had the opportunity to remove it, I don't think I would. You see, although it was really challenging and difficult, in 2009 I had my gallbladder and spleen removed. It was a really tough and hard time, yet all of these challenges also provided opportunities for growth. And so I have got an arsenal of coping mechanisms that has allowed me to develop leadership, emotional intelligence that I can use in both my tertiary as well as my personal life. And so there's an African proverb that states that it takes a village to raise a child, and these words could not be more true for my situation. I know that if it was not for my mother, hematologists, doctors, nurses, and mentors, that I will not stand where I am today with all of my achievements and accomplishments. And I guess it's safe to say that, wahine toa, strong women, have played a really significant role in my life. And empowering women is really my area where I sit in. Fast forward to 2016, had a really great year in terms of opportunities, being here at Festival for the Future. And it was also here that I was inspired by Laura from Rock and Roll as well as Action Station. Her words were aroha mai, aroha atu, love received, demands love returned. And so it was the miraculous birth of Mana Wahine, which is a social enterprise that I'm currently working on and is a mentoring program that aims to connect young women together to empower each other, but most importantly, to bring across diverse and intergenerational women. Because from my experience, I know how profound it has been. And so for me to have received all the love, now I must return it back. New Zealand has a strong history of social change and fundamentally standing up for our values, whether it was the 1981 Springbok Tour or our nuclear-free stance. In the light of the decisive, dangerous, and dismissal that rhetoric that's currently plaguing the geopolitical sphere, I have no doubt whatsoever that New Zealand will stand up to the challenge. We are not deluded by the very real consequences of climate change, and we will refuse to engage in perpetuating the negative stereotypes of immigrants, refugees, and any other group of people. I know that I'm probably speaking to the converted, but on the 23rd of September, we will have the opportunity to let our voices be heard. Young people are always told that we are the leaders of tomorrow, of the future. But the reality is we are the leaders of today. And so I'd like to finish off by inviting you all to the call of action. You will not find any other place in New Zealand or perhaps even the world where you will get the opportunity to connect, engage, and take action on issues that are close to your heart. Don't let the privilege that we all have here today, tomorrow, and on Sunday go to waste. Thank you.